The scripting language in Optuma also makes it easy to specify specific timeframes. Now, in all the examples that you've seen so far, we've just used the default setting. So by that I mean, let's have a look at this show bar. So I'll right click on any one of those arrows, go to the pencil, and then open up the script editor window. When we click on the text, the properties come up. So you can see the time frame there is set to default. So what this is, this show bar is doing is placing an arrow on each bar when the 5-period RSI is above 75. Now this is a daily bar, so it's using daily time frame, so it's going to be using daily values to calculate the RSI. So when we switch it to another time frame, such as 1 week, now those arrows are being calculated when the weekly RSI is above 75. Similarly, we go to monthly, and the same changes are made. But what if we wanted to scan for a weekly and a daily time frame, or put a weekly value into a column? So we can easily do that. So let's go over to the watch list column. I'm going to add a new script. So in this one, I'm going to do RSI, and then click on the text to bring up the properties, set it to 5, and then instead of using the default, I'm going to set it to week, and then click apply. So that's added this column here. So GE 69.98, that is the weekly value of that RSI. So if we change this chart from daily to week, you'll see the blue line for the RSI 69.98. So that column is now using weekly data instead of the default daily. Now that we've created this column, what we can actually do is put that weekly value onto a daily chart. So I'm going to change the chart back to daily, and then I'm going to click in the header. It's just called script because I didn't save this one. I'm going to click my mouse and hold it, and then drag it over. I missed it the first time, and then drag it over the price chart. And when I let go, that green line is now the weekly RSI. Now you'll notice that it's a stepped line. That's because there's only one value for the week, and as this is a daily chart, there's 5 data points for each week. So it will just be a horizontal line for each week. So we can then again right click and show in price scale. But now what we can do is, if we click that line, hold the mouse and drag it over the middle panel there, and what that's done now is placed that weekly RSI over the daily. Now one thing we need to make sure is that it's using the same price scale in the layer. So I've opened up the structure panel, which is that arrow halfway up the price line, price scale, and you'll notice that the show view layer, which is the column that I dragged down, that chain icon is unlinked. So that means it's using a different price scale. So I'm just going to click that, and now under that view, both those layers are linked to the same price scale. So the green line again is the weekly, and the blue line is the daily, all shown on one chart. Now for those of you with an intraday data provider, such as Bloomberg, IQ Feed, eSignal, etc., we can also specify intraday values, so based on minutes rather than days or weeks. So in this tab here called currencies, I've got a couple of FX pairs from IQ Feed. The chart on the right is a 5-minute chart, but what I can do is add a column, as we have done before. Click the plus and then add new script. So let's say I want to do, I'll stick with RSI, and you'll notice when we click time frame here that we don't get a minute option. That's because not everybody has access to intraday data. So if you do, here's how you can create a script. So I'm just going to select week, and you'll see it puts the text into the formula there. Now I'm going to click into that formula where at the end of week and before the parenthesis, and delete that just by backspacing, and then I'm going to type minute. So now the time frame is based on minutes, and I can set the period amount I want. So let's say I want a 15-minute calculation. of the RSI, and I'll make it a 14 period RSI. Click apply, and that column is now based on a 15-minute calculation, and will update as new data streams into the program.